sensitive details like BVN, this is going to generally require a little bit of push because they don't trust anyone. And this is it's for good reason, right? Being one of the fourth capitals of the world and the kind of things that people have seen. So it's very important to know that as we approach these markets, these guys have a psychology that's that's low in trust. The second thing is that these guys, God is a very heavy factor here. If there are insurtech people here, they will understand what I'm talking about. That's the biggest force that you will generally be going against in selling insurance to this market is that you're going against God. And this is basically no diss to the religious folks here, but this is the psychology of selling to them. You basically need to have a solution that does not compete with God. So you also need to generally have it in mind that if so many of the decisions that they make today, some of them can be rational, simply business driven. Some of them are also irrational, and these irrational decisions sometimes are because of some of the things that they are hearing from the religious folks. Maybe they are pastors, maybe they are alphas, maybe they are traditional people. So, and this sometimes plays a factor in how people decide to use a solution that you have given to them. Another important thing to build out here is that these guys are mobile. I think this is kind of should be unsaid. If you want to build any solution, you need to build mobile first. And this is kind of an important thinking. For example, in the design of the user experience, in the design of the tech solution, you basically have to have a mobile first thinking, which means that when your UX guys are going to design a solution, they should design mobile interface first before they think of the other interfaces like tablets and laptops. That's because I'm pretty sure more than 80% of the ways your solution will be accessed will be mostly through mobile and mostly through Android. So if you want to build a web application, or if you want to build a mobile application, you're basically going to target mobile first. And of course, data is also important. You want to have a solution that is not going to consume data. And this will show generally in the way for web applications, how it's going to be like a progressive web application that is kind of optimized for low data scenarios. Is another important psychology. 4, these guys love face-to-face. And this, for example, shows in the kind of support systems that you're going to build. You want to build a system where the support has an element of people. Informal markets hate talking to robots or hate talking to complicated systems that make it look like they're talking to a big head office. These are guys that are normally intimidated if they walk into a bank branch and they see the lady wearing suits or the guy wearing suits to attend to them in customer support. Some of them feel intimidated. They don't want to go into a bank branch. And you're bringing a solution to them and you're telling them to call a customer care line. And in the customer care line, they first of all listen to some music and somebody now talks to them in one clean English language. It's not really going to work. It's not really going to work. So you need to build a solution where there's some level of contact. Unfortunately, this means a lot of customer support people, a lot of maybe field sales people, but it is what it is, actually. It is what it is. This market will basically react better when they know they have a direct communication with people. And they prefer to talk in their local languages. They can speak English generally, most of them. But if you could speak English to them in their own particular dialect or accent, or if you could also speak their local dialect also, it makes them kind of feel much more comfortable in reaching them and selling to them generally. So it is important as you're building your customer support solutions, your sales systems, that we all begin to think this way. Another thing to consider generally will be these guys are very entrepreneurial and they're quite smart. one of the things I've learned and I've seen, and we probably all know it, is that Nigerians are actually really quite entrepreneurial, quite aggressive, quite flexible. For those of us that sometimes live in the UK, you know, for example, how inflexible systems are. If you threaten an average Nigerian that you're taking your business away from them, they will move all the earth to make sure that you come back. They're naturally customer centric, because in other much more advanced economies, things are a lot more structured, and you basically need to just basically wait your turn. But things are a lot more flexible in informal markets. They're really quite entrepreneurial. They're really driven to make successful solutions. And basically, in doing this, it means that if many of the infrastructure issues are solved, prosperity is natural. This is one of the reasons why these markets are really thriving, because everybody's out there to hustle for themselves and make a good life for themselves. Lastly, I would like to tell the story of some of the people that I have met in dealing with the 400,000 businesses that we have so far. Of course, a large portion of some of our businesses are agents. And in this time, I've actually seen some people begin with us and actually prosper a lot on the basis of giving them tech solutions that will enable them run their business. There's a certain entrepreneur that I met sometimes back, and the entrepreneur started their business as an agent. But when I met this entrepreneur, I realized that this entrepreneur is actually quite really smart. And of course, they got into agency business because it's another business that they're doing. And this is typical for many of the small business owners. They do multiple businesses, not just one business. It's almost as if it's a thing. So it's a thing of pride to have multiple businesses, like they're MD and CEO of multiple businesses. So as we began to do business together, I remained in touch because I used to get first line information from this business owner. And on the basis of the person using our platform, we became close. And I saw how this person steadily rose from becoming an agent to setting up a bakery. And from that, of course, they were also reaching out to get access to loans, get access to payment solutions. From the bakery, the person successfully reached out to set up the bakery. And the person also began to set up a school, all in the space of 2-3 years. And after the person was using loans heavily as a leverage. And after a while, the person now set up then I think I mentioned bakery, school, agency, and then a printing press eventually. And when I kind of like visited the location, I saw how the person had built systems, actually in an informal market, has built appraisal system, monitoring systems in an informal way that allowed people to actually be quite motivated to build to grow the organization. And some of these appraisal systems are similar and in some cases better than the ways we formal markets have built our businesses. And this gave me the epiphany that a lot of times we don't have differences, either big business or small businesses. The difference are the opportunities that we all have. So this, to me, is a way in which we all have the opportunity to build something really impactful for our different markets, where we will be able to help all the small businesses who have as much dreams as us as entrepreneurs, as business owners, as executives in businesses, to be able to allow these other small businesses to also achieve their goals and dreams, because they all want to grow and make money just like us. So in addition to all of us building a business, in addition to us all trying to become successful, it's also a very noble, impactful goal. And this is something that's making me really excited. Thank you guys for having me. I hope we have a wonderful time talking together, and God bless you all.